Scotty B. It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell. Either you can or you don't want. It's Sports Talk with Scotty Burrell. We go hard in the paint. Oh boy, you better bring it. Sports Talk, a conversation with Coach Scotty Burrell. Either you can or you don't want. Now, here's your host, Coach Scotty Burrell.
All right, welcome to Sports Talk. I'm Scotty Burrell. I like to say either you can't or you don't want. We are here at St.Martinville High School. We are featuring the linebacker, Kohen, St.Martinville senior linebacker here. We got his dad on my right side, your left, Reggie Clues. Guys, welcome to Sports Talk.
Sir, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Well, guys, man, we got a chance to watch you play last week, Kohen. Of course, I've been watching. I do a lot of radio, but been out there watching, and I just thought it would be a good time to come back to St. Martinville and do a feature on you and your dad. So let's get right to it, man. You're a senior linebacker at St. Martinville. What do you feel your role on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball? Notice they played you a little bit on the offensive side, but what is your role in particular for this defense?
Yes, sir. My role is to be a leader and just lead my defense, really lead the whole team into where they have to be. Like, if the defensive line go the wrong way, I got to make them right. You know, it's all about accountability and being responsible for each other and just being honest in between the plays. If you know you messed up, you know you messed up, just make up for it the next play and keeping their heads up.
And that's a sign of a team leader. I like that. I like the it's coming out the way it should be. I like that. Most of the kids, you want to hear that spirit. So what would have been your favorite moment on the field so far in your high school career?
I really cherish and enjoy every moment with my brothers. You know, we've been here the whole summer. We worked out the whole summer. Every single moment I spend with them is a blessing. You know, because they got some teams who don't really got a brotherhood like we got, and the new coaching staff we have that they brought to us, I feel like it's all a part of God's plan. I really appreciate it.
Well, that was going to be one of my other questions down the line, but I'm going to ask you that. How much has the new staff impacted you in this program?
They impacted me because they want us not to just be the best football players. They want us to be the best men that we could be, because they feel like if they just teach us how to play football, they failed us. So they want us, because sooner or later in life, we're going to have kids, you know, we go be a parents, adults. So if they make us the best men we could be, they set us for life.
Well, you must have heard one of my stories before, because I always like to say, you know, Dad, I like to say, if your high school coach, and people might have heard it 1,000 times, or your junior high coach, or your little league coach, if you don't walk away saying, man, I like this guy, to me, they didn't do a good job. They didn't touch you. They didn't touch you in the mind. They didn't touch you in the heart. They didn't touch you in a way a mentor should touch you. So you're absolutely right. So, Coach, what one part of your game you worked on the hardest to improve Kohen as a player for his senior season?
I say one part of my game is my mentalness. You know, I feel like I'm physically ready, but mentally I gotta focus more on my mental state. Like, when I get tired, I gotta learn to keep on going and just keep on reading my keys and holding myself accountable and just being disciplined.
How much of an impact has Dad been to you in your game?
100%. You know, him and my mom is part of the reason why. Like, my goal is always to retire them. You know, and every time I step up on the field, I feel like I got a reason. I can't, you know, because he go be hard on me, so I ain't got no choice but to go out and ball out regardless.
Well, I like that, man. Dad, you raised a fine young man. I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm a sentimental type of person. And look, I got goosebumps all over my body, because that's what it's all about. You know, in the old days, we say parents take care of us, and then when they get older, we take care of them, and that's how it rolls. So I know your dad somewhat personally, so I can understand where you're coming from. So we're gonna turn to Dad. Dad, what was going like growing up? Did you see early signs he would be a football player?
No, I didn't have the slightest clue that he was going to be a football player. As a matter of fact, I didn't even want him to play football because of the injuries and just how I feel coming from a person who's played football before. It's constant pain all the time. I mean, it's just something that you have to learn to live with. So I never encouraged him or discouraged him to play sports. He started off at basketball, which I was happy. I thought that was something that he was enjoying. But for some reason, man, like in the fifth grade, he was 180 pounds. He was huge.
He was considered a post player.
Kohen played every position in football. He started on the offensive line, defensive line, because that's how big he was as a kid. And I think the summer after his 8th grade year, he came up to me and said, "Daddy, he said, I don't want to be fed."
So that's part of my next question. I guess that's when you realized for the first time that he was talented, but talented going towards football. Would you say that's the first time you realized that he was talented and had the passion for the game of football?
Well, not the talent just yet, but watching what he did that summer, dropped from 180 to 155, just muscle. What I mean is, like, he went from flabby. Kohen was so big that his skin was tight. You could have stick a needle in it, and it probably would have just tore open. And what he did is the juices, the sodas, the junk food, he put all that down the whole summer. And his body did just a complete transformation. So just seeing that discipline that he had in him to do that, I said, you know what, if he can do that, if he put his mind to it, he can do anything.
So in your opinion, how's football shaped him as his character and discipline, both on and off the field?
I'll go back to you and I, Scott, how we were raised, even Mr. Perry. It could have been easy for us to go the other way.
Correct.
What I've noticed, what really shapes Kohen, as far as from my aspect, is the discipline, the understanding, being able to receive instructions, but not only receive instructions, be able to effectively communicate exactly what he's doing. I told him the most important thing is to always honor and obey your elders, your adults. Listen to your coaches. Your coaches been there, done that already. So they're not telling you anything to hurt you. Anything they're telling you is to help you. And I think he does very well with receiving instructions and following and being disciplined and listening to what the coaches have to tell him.
Well, I tell the kids, and Kohen, I tell the kids, being a former basketball coach and help so many kids get to college, coaches don't recruit the athlete first. And they don't care how many tackles you can get. They might seem that way, but they need to find out how good of a person you are first, because they got to trust you. In college, you in the dorm. They're not hands-on 24/7 like in high school. You in class, coach could walk to the classroom. So that's very important as an athlete and a student going forward in your career. So how do you balance being a student athlete and still having a social life and the vigorous practice Coach Kramer put you through? How you balance all that?
How I balance all that, it's all about mental toughness to me. I gotta wake up in the morning. I know I gotta eat a good breakfast, come to school, learn throughout the day, take my notes, and go to practice. So it's just about, when I go to practice, I gotta learn. I know I gotta get better. Mentally, I gotta get better at this sport so I can go on to the next level. And when I come home, it's strictly by books, because you could be the best football player that you want to be, but if you don't got the books, you ain't gonna succeed nowhere in life.
No, we know. We've been there so many times trying to help young athletes, and I know you've heard it 1,000 times. You have to get your grade to go on to the next level. You know how many times I heard a kid say, "I'm 1 point short," and nothing we could do about it. Nothing. So I don't want to put you on the spot with this question, but maybe you could name a few. What teacher or coach here at St.Martinville High School has been the biggest influence on you, and why?
It's a lot. I could go from Coach Vince.
But just make it collective.
I could go Coach Vince, Coach D, Coach Kramer, all the whole coaching staff. Every single coach that's been a part of my life. I could go with Coach Vince and Coach D because they was always strict. They was always, on point. Made sure we did everything, and I love them and I miss them too. And I love Coach D and Coach Kramer. I met Coach Kramer my sophomore year. He gives people opportunities that, people would never expect. Like, first 7-on-7 tournament, I was just playing defense. And then I went on to play offense, and I don't even think, I maybe dropped one pass that tournament, Coach. I maybe dropped one pass, but besides, he just gives a lot of opportunities, and he believes. So I really appreciate that, and he really trusts us. And one mistake, he just goes on by the next play. He really passionate about the game, which influences me and my brothers.
Well, man, that's a blessing. First of all, let me say this. You're a fine young man. I can just hear it in your voice, the way you carry yourself. And coaches, if you could take a look at this one day coming up, because there are coaches that watch sports talk. Man, you got a hell of a young man right here, not only as a player, but as a student athlete. So come out and take a look at this young man. So back to you again, Kohen. What are some of the things about you off the field that people might not know? Any hobbies, any interests, any talent, hidden talent?
I wouldn't say I really have. Well, if I have a hidden talent, I really didn't find out about it yet. But one thing I like to do is I like to pray a lot and ask God to help me with anything.
You can't never go wrong with
Can't
that.
go wrong with that. I ask him for forgiveness because, I sin a lot. I ain't gonna lie. I do sin a lot.
You a young
all I
man.
gotta do, yeah,
You a
I
young
sin a
man.
lot. All I do is ask him to forgive for my sins, and that's all I can do. Because one day, I'm gonna have to go to him, and he gonna know the truth. He gonna know if I'm gonna be deserved to go up there, if I'm gonna, not go up there. So.
Well, you're going to have a lot of young ladies lining up to marry him. He's such a great person. I love it, though. I love it. That's why we do this. We want Sports Talk to see not only the athlete, but the person and the parents. Because he came from a great family, and people need to know that. That's why we do Sports Talk. So, Dad, I'm coming back to you. What has been your proudest moment as a parent watching him play football here at St. Martinville?
Well, I'll do two. I'll do one without the football, and I'll do one with football.
Okay.
Without the football, my proudest moment is watching him watch me help people. He told me something. I don't even know if he remembered it. I ran for clerk of court 2 years ago, and he said, "Daddy, you're gonna win. You're gonna win." And I was like, "Okay." He said, "No, for real, you're gonna win." And I was like, "Wow, what makes you say that?" And he said, "All the time I see you, what you doing? Helping people." He said, "If all the people you help vote for you," he said, "you should get 1,000,000 votes." And what I want to do, I want to thank him and his mama for sacrificing, because I gave 32 years of my life as a public servant. And that's a sacrifice they made, because working for the public,
It ain't easy. You get calls all the time.
Kohen, what my day look like, honestly, with the phone?
Every time you put the phone down, somebody calling. I feel like he's scared to put it down.
I know the feeling.
But my proudest moment on the field was actually last Friday when he scored a rushing touchdown without the dance.
Yeah, I was there for the dance. He got flagged for that.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the part before the dance.
Part before the dance.
Because
I think he was excited to get his first high school touchdown. That's what it was.
Oh, that was my second.
Okay. Second. Did you dance on the first one?
no.
So you had to make up for that. You had to make up for that one. All right.
But watching him running in zone as a running back, because that's something. When he told me he didn't want to be fat anymore, he said, "Dad, I don't want to be fat anymore because I want to play running back." And just to see, and I think Coach Kramer for giving him that opportunity to be able to do that. So.
Man, he got good pedigree, because I know I watched you play some high school sports in our area, and you was an outstanding athlete. Also, we're going to come back to Kohen. Kohen, do you have any plans to continue to play college football at the next level? And if so, what schools might show you interest, or what schools you would, if you had to pick one, where would you want to go, and who was interested in? Let's let everybody know, hey, there's a great linebacker here at St. Martinville High School.
I feel like I don't really got where I want to go at now. I'm really blessed and thankful for all the offers I had right now. But the day God told me I need to go to this school is where I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna trust my mom and my dad, because they never led me in the wrong decision. So wherever God tell me I need to go is where I'm gonna go. And the offers that I do have right now, I have LCU, Arkansas Monticello, Tuskegee, Louisiana Community College. It's hard to say all of them, 'cause I'll be forgetting.
I tell you what, those schools that you just named are outstanding program for academics and football, and I know Dad gonna probably tell you the same thing. We going in for football, but it's academics first. So if football wasn't in the picture, what career path or goal would you have chased after high school?
I would probably go toward something in the medical field, maybe be a physical therapist, maybe, or do something with business, probably. Because if football didn't work out, I truly was going to, really be more into my books. I would have had more time. I would have, I was still trying my books, but I probably would have been better in my books. Because, I probably would have been, something in the medical field. I feel
Okay. Well, hey, at least we know your career path and opportunities out there for a lot of you young people, and that's the way to go right now. You tell a lot of people you don't have a choice. You have to get through high school and get a little college degree. You don't have a choice. I don't care. Shaq used to clown and say he got a crayon biology degree, but he got one. People, you have to have it nowadays. It's just how society is. Dad, I'm coming back to you, man. how has football influenced your family life and the bond that you share with him? And I kind of heard a little bit about it just a second ago, but how has it influenced your family in life and the bond that you built with your son?
You talking about the football
Yes.
aspect of it?
Yes.
Just his love for the game of football. I mean, he lived and he lived and breathed football. And to be honest with you, the last 2 years, if you want to hold a conversation with him, if it's not about God, it's just football. And if you don't have nothing to talk about in football, he really don't have nothing to tell you. So my wife even knows football now.
She talked that much?
Yeah. Yeah, she know a touchdown is not a 3-pointer.
All right,
So,
all right.
So no, she's coming around, but no, we talk together as a family, football. But I know you had asked me a question earlier, and I told you the sports part about it. But my most proudest moment of him is watching him getting up on Sundays and going to church service without us. Meaning that we go to the 8 o'clock service, he'll wake up and he'll go to 10:30, 11 o'clock.
That's fantastic.
And we don't have to go like our mom used to do. Hey, boy,
Yeah.
y'all stayed out all night Saturday.
We
you
were
know, y'all
Baptist
gone.
back then when I was a kid, and Grandma didn't play.
No.
Grandma
That
could
was
get you.
automatic.
Mama didn't come get you.
No.
Grandma come
Yeah,
get you.
that was automatic.
And that was 3 hours sitting in the
Yes,
Baptist
sir.
church.
Yes,
On
sir.
a Sunday. You know, I missed a lot of kickoffs.
Oh, I already know.
Grandma didn't play, man.
2 o'clock, y'all was still there, Scott.
You know it, huh? Reverend Ellie. But no, I just wanted to showcase Kohen, and I'm glad I did. Man, exceptional young man. I could say that just talking to you. Seem like, honestly, we can probably talk for days because I like to talk and listening to you young men speaking out. We kind of do that when I was coaching. I kind of prep a lot of my kids, and they would say, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "You're going to be a college athlete, and I hate for you to come up there and you'd be like, and I'm not trying to throw no shade, but if you're going to be in the college sector, you have to be a college athlete, and you want to represent yourself because you're representing your dad, your mom, coaches that you're representing St.Martinville High School. So now in closing, anything you want to say to the viewers that we might not touched on?
If I had to give any advice from anybody, I know I'm 17 and I'm young, but I'd say listen to your parents and believe in God. They gonna always guide you in the right path. At least from my experience, my parents never guided me in the wrong way. You know, sometimes I might disagree with them or whatever they gotta say, or I might not want to do it, but they gonna only set you up for success because they've been there and done it. Same way with coaches. I say they played the position. They did everything about it, so they know what's best. And until I say they prove you wrong, you keep doing what they ask. So that's my advice I give to people.
And Dad, any advice even if for parents or future athletes?
School. Education is very important. The teacher used to always tell us that education is the key to success. I used to go in one ear and out the other, but I'm here to tell you they are exactly correct. What a lot of people need to understand, we are looking for a football scholarship, not to go to the NFL. We're looking for a football scholarship for him to do well at whatever school he goes to, but something to pay for his education.
Amen.
That's key.
Amen. That's a fine piece of advice because, it's not all meant for everyone. You can honestly say everybody gets a chance, but everybody don't make it. Because I say this, don't you ever turn on the television and it's like, I've never heard that name before, and he's in the NFL. So my point is there's so many athletes that you don't hear about that's trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. But we want to thank you guys for being a guest on Sports Talk. Before we go, you want to know, let's come on, you can mess with me. Last week, y'all, Cecilia came down to St.Martinville.
Yes, sir.
It's been a while.
Yes, sir.
How big was that win for you and the team with the new staff and your senior year?
Well, one thing I wanted to say was, I don't know if you want me to expose none of his business or not, but one thing that touched me was Coach Kramer. He told me they really didn't give him a reason on why they fired him from Lafayette High, and I really had a place in my heart for him. So to go on and know is a big blessing, a big opportunity. And my brothers, we was all excited. We was all in the locker room. We was real excited, and that gives us some confidence and some motivation to keep on going and knowing how good we is. Beating the defending state champs that's good for us.
It is a feather in your cap, and I saw the excitement, and you guys deserve every bit of it. Week 2, you're going to Lafayette High.
Yeah,
Coach
yes,
Kramer,
sir.
former school.
Yes, sir.
And what we got for that?
You want me to give you a honest score?
No, I don't want you. I want you to give me your honest opinion.
Oh, 55-0. It's straight domination the whole game.
I'm gonna leave that.
We ain't
one
gonna
right
let that-
there,
we
baby.
ain't
That's
letting our
what
foot off the
sports talk
gas.
is all about. But listen, guys, man, I want to thank you, Dad, Reggie.
Thanks for having us. We grew
I
up
wanna-
together. I really appreciate
I
it.
want to thank you, Kohen. This is Sports Talk at St.Martinville High School. I'm Coach Scotty Burry. I like to say either you can't or you don't want. I want to thank Poches, Megan Buckner, Ad Crazy About Crawfish. We want to thank everybody that support us. It's all about these young athletes, and this is why we do it. You heard of exceptional young men. Man, I love it. You're going to have to just sit down and go. Don't call Banks. Banks, I'm going to take him to lunch, not you. Love y'all. Hey, this is Scotty Burrell, man, signing off here at St. Martinville High School. Linebacker, Kohen Clues. Look out for him, man. He's vicious. And we out of here.
Scotty B. It's sports talk with Scotty Burrell. Either you can't or you don't want. It's sports talk with Scotty Burrell. We go hard in the paint, homeboy, you better bring it. Sports talk, a conversation with Coach Scotty Burrell. Either you can't or you don't want.